With buyouts nearing $200 million, what is the state of college football in the NIL era? And what are some of the most interesting jobs coming up? And who is going to be the top candidates? Who are the top candidates for each one? My name's John Diadamo. I am taking you through the next hour here, filling in for Mark Rogers, voice of college football, who had to take the night off. You can follow me at John Diadamo on X. And as you join us, I want to ask you all to hit the like button. It just takes a second. And by the way, it's free. Hit the subscribe so that you know when Mark and everybody is live and all of that good stuff. We already have callers. We have 2 callers lined up in the queue. So Mark runs this show where $150 unlocks the second hour. And since your boy has work tomorrow, that'll probably be it. It's 2 hours max, but definitely if you'd like the show to go a second hour, that's what you got to do. $150 in super chat, super stickers, membership gifts. But let's start with the topic that I think is really kind of shaping the nation, and I want to share y'all. This is real. This is a list of the total buyouts that are going to need to be paid out to these coaches. So Brian Kelly, as we know, was just fired from LSU 2 days ago. James Franklin, fraudulent James Franklin, was finally fired at Penn State, and he's owed $49 million. Billy Napier, rightfully fired at Florida, $21.4, and it just goes on, totaling nearly $200 million. Nice work if you can get it. And so I really want to hit 2 things today. 1, why are we here? And 2, who do you think is going to be taking these jobs next? So we know that there's a thing called NIL that was instituted about 3 or 4 years ago. And what that's done is it's raised the stakes. It's raised the stakes in terms of expectations on programs, on coaches to succeed. No longer do you get 10 years to get your program right, get your guys in place. Maybe you have a couple of good years, a couple of mid years, and you stay for a couple decades. That's the Kirk Ferentz model. This is the Osborne model in Nebraska. That's not going to be the case anymore if you don't win and win at the highest level, because now you have donors that are donating in some cases $30, $40 million. The Ellisons, obviously, at Michigan, Phil Knight at Oregon, to name a few, who are high, kind of big players in this space, and they expect results. And if the coach isn't producing those results, guess what? You can find a donor to pay for that buyout. So the NIL era and the amount of money that's being put into these players now that wasn't before is now creating a bit more of a win now mentality, because you can just pay players in the portal and bring them in. Curt Cignetti, year 1 at Indiana, 11 wins. At a program known for going 3-9, Curt Cignetti, first year, 11 wins. Now he's undefeated his second year. Might go undefeated the whole season. Very likely will be in the Big Ten championship and the playoff at Indiana. And so it puts a spotlight on coaches like Brian Kelly, who said, me and my family, we need to come here because at Notre Dame we can't get our players. So at LSU we're going to get our players. Well, guess what? You went 9-3 every year, 10-3. It's not good enough at a program like LSU. They expect to win national championships. They want to be where Georgia is with Kirby Smart. They want to be where Alabama is with Saban. And so who goes where? I'd love to hear people call in about that. Who's going to LSU? Well, I think you got to at least give Nick Saban a call. Why not? Make him say no. Make Urban Meyer say no. Give them 20 million reasons to say no at LSU. Give Matt Rule a bunch of reasons to say no to Penn State. Give Brian Kelly a bunch of reasons to say no to Michigan State if that job comes open, which I think it will. All I'm saying is it's going to be very interesting to see who switches schools, who comes out of retirement, and where does Lane Kiffin go? Because he's probably getting called by everybody. Lane Kiffin, every couple of years, he's the hot name again. And kudos to him on doing that. Does he stay at Ole Miss? Does he go somewhere? I'd like to hear your all's thoughts. We do have a super chat here from Jackson to start things off. $2 down, 148 to go to get a second hour of the show. And now let's take our first caller. He's a Michigan fan who happened to live in the same dorm as me, West Quad, which I lived in for a year. Hey, West Quad, how you doing? Go Blue.
What up, though, John? I want to talk about Brian Kelly.
Let's hear it.
Brian Kelly's problem is you cannot be a bad person and a bad coach at the same time. And also, you have to be somewhat likable. Like that, the thing you did with the family that he did at the opening press conference, it's like, bro, you are so inauthentic. Like, I remember, like, the one thing I saw where he was like doing the spinning camera with the recruit. It's like, bro, just be yourself, bro. Like, don't try and be somebody else because you're coming off lame as you know what right now. And the recruits can see, like, you know, the LSU landed a recruit after he got fired. Do you know how bad that looks like for you, Brian Kelly? Like, as soon as you get fired, dude's like, yeah, Baton Rouge is where I want to be now. That's such a bad thing, bro. Like I said, I mean, we got to trust me. I was a coach, and I was a bad person at the time. Coaches are scumbags, bro. Like, but you have to have like the ability to not show it. Like, all coaches aren't good people. I don't want anybody to think that like all these guys are good. Some of these guys are cutthroat scumbags, and but you gotta show, like, you can't show that. Like, I think Lane Kiffin is fundamentally a scumbag, and he kind of comes off that way sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
But he also has something about his personality that he can get kids to come to Mississippi. So
yeah,
come to the Brian Kelly's just so fake, bro. It's like everything about you's fake. You fundamentally killed a kid, like, and I mean, I hate to say it so bluntly, but I mean, it's kind of your fault that kid died, bro. And like, it's everything. Yeah. Like, there's no, like, where are the redeeming values with Brian Kelly? Like, and what's funny, I knew before the news broke about Bryce, I knew that that was gonna rub him the wrong way. One, getting their ass kicked, and two, the way he blew up on that kid at the game that Bryce was there. It was just a perfect, like,
that probably sealed it. Like, Bryce is like, I don't want to play for this guy, and Michigan's going to pay me $12 million.
It was a perfect storm to land him right after that. I was like, and then when I heard about it, I was like, yeah, it checks out. He just went to the game, they got their ass kicked, and the dude was like whatever the kid did, it couldn't have been that bad. Like, like, save that for the locker room, bro. Don't. That's one thing I hated as a player. Don't show me up in front of everybody unless I do some complete bonehead crap. Don't show me up in front of everybody, bro. Like, talk to me in the locker room. We don't have to do this out here. And he's always like there's so many memes about him turning purple. Like, yeah. It's just like he's just not a good dude, bro. He doesn't even, like I said, he doesn't even come off as a good dude. Like, I know coaches, they're pretty much scumbags, but you never know it because they don't show it like in front of everybody. Everything about the dude is like inauthentic. So he needs to go back to the MAC where you could do that kind of stuff and get away with it. I think was he at Central?
It's crazy. He was at, I know he was at Cincinnati for a while.
Yeah.
He was at, let's see, he's been a couple, obviously Notre Dame, Cincinnati Central before that, and Grand Valley State, which Garrison brought up. that he was at and kind of raised the stature of that program. So that's more his speed, I feel like, Grand Valley State. But here's the thing, like, what's so crazy is Brian Kelly gave as his reason leaving Notre Dame that he just couldn't recruit the players needed to win a national championship.
And then he got one of the most fertile recruiting grounds in the country, and he couldn't win there. Excuses, bro.
9 wins,
you can't win at Notre Dame.
And look at what Marcus Freeman is doing. Marcus Freeman went to the national championship game last year at Notre Dame. So
I just think he kind of maxed out like at Cincinnati. Like ever since he's been kind of like mid ever since.
Yeah.
So like I said, I think the lower levels might suit him better than the primetime jobs. I just don't see it like going forward. Like I don't think any of those, like the Florida job, the Penn State job, I don't think they should hire that dude, bro. I mean, I wouldn't if I were them, but we'll see. I mean, he's got an opportunity to prove me wrong, but and I also saw somebody in the chat, bro. If you send somebody up there and they're tweeting about how afraid they are, you saw those high winds. I'm not necessarily saying it's fault, but it's not his fault. Like I'm not saying he's completely culpable. He's at least a little bit culpable for that. Like I don't see how you can even not like, bro. First of all, I wouldn't have gone up there like straight up and down. Like I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, play money quarterback with no shit like that. But get out of my face, coach. Sometimes you gotta just say no. But hey, we're not gonna talk about that. The past is the past. Rest in peace, Declan. But still, I'm just saying, it's got to come down on somebody who's not the head coach.
How about Brian Kelly at Michigan State University? I mean, maybe that's, I will say if it's interesting because like you look at Brian Kelly, you look at James Franklin as people that they've never really reached the mountaintop, but they know how to get a program to nine wins a year.
Didn't I just say that the that the big time programs might not be for him? Perfect job at Michigan State. You nailed it.
There it is. And they don't mind douchebags.
Right. And all they want to do is beat us. Yeah, because Mark D'Antonio was there for the longest time. And all they care about is beating us and getting those 9 wins. They don't care about the playoffs. When they make it to the playoffs, they don't even score. So they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, they had they had the biggest dose of luck known to man that year. Like everything went their way to get them into the playoffs. The trouble with the snap, the rain game against Ohio State that they had that year, where they kicked that game winner field goal, and the kicker did the windmill.
Fun fact: I've never watched Trouble with the Snap since it happened. If I think that's about to come on a clip, I'm turning, bro. I haven't watched the Hail Mary. I haven't watched the App State kick block. I'm not doing it to myself. I'm sorry. Absolutely. I don't know how y'all feel about like watching terrible highlights for your team, but I'm not doing it. I'm not reliving that moment again.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to relive. But the 3. What is it? 4 years running now of beating Michigan State. That does take some of the sting off.
Yeah, but I mean they'll always have that. I don't even like them having that. That's such a low light, bro. Like I could deal with App State. App State was just us like huffing our own farts and believing the hype. Because though the same team that lost to App State beat Florida that year. So we had a good team. It's just the fact that they were reading the press clippings. And I've heard like low key, I heard that somebody said that there were some players that smoked before the game, and I hope that's not true. But I have heard that that's just between us. But it would make sense. That's it. They look like that first half, they looked like they were out there, under the influence. But yeah, man, I really I don't know who's gonna take their Penn State job, but I think that's a sleeping giant, and obviously Florida as well. Who's the LSU? See, that's the one that I'm afraid. Like I don't want them to get a good hire because I want to poach them. You know, this is from a Michigan standpoint.
Right.
I want to poach them for like DJ Pickett, Deuce Geralds, and there's another recruit. I can't think of who. Oh yeah, Finney. So I hope they don't. I hope they don't get a home run, selfishly. But I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't screw this one up. Like it's kind of been a while since Nick Saban was there. I mean, Coach O got one, but that was on Joe Sloan more so than him, I think. Oh, here's the list.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, LSU, I think LSU is probably the best job open. And you gotta, like, I think they're gonna call the big guns. Do I think Nick Saban and Urban Meyer are gonna say yes? No. But they gotta call him. I think they gotta call Dan Lanning, make him say no.
Damn, Deshaun Foster stole money. Like he did such a bad job. I was rooting for him, but bro, he just looked like that press conference just let you know that he was not ready for prime time. Like I would have done, bro. You could have done. Put me in that press conference right now, and I would have looked better than him. And I haven't coached in years, and I could put forward a better face for UCLA than that. That was trash. But I'm looking at these jobs. I'm just gonna give you the three that I think. I'll go LSU first, then Florida, then Penn State. Those three. After that, I mean, after that's a crapshoot. But I think UCLA. I said this on another show. I think UCLA is also a sleeping giant because I think, like I said, I grew up with UCLA being good. Like when I was younger, you could see UCLA in a Rose Bowl, like, and it's been a long time since they've been that good. So.
Yeah, I mean, Neuheisel got them 3 straight wins after Deshaun Foster was fired. So that showed, too, that Jerry Neuheisel, like 30 years old, couldn't even work a headset the first game, but he was able to take UCLA to 3-0 until this last game. And so, like, that just shows you right there.
Side note, that kid looks just like his dad.
Like, he does look. They look like very
you're supposed
similar.
to look like your father, but Jesus Christ, bro, you're not supposed to steal his whole face. Just parts of it.
So I'm thinking LSU. They're gonna try for Lane Kiffin.
I think Florida is as well.
Absolutely, they are. I think they'd be both. LSU and Florida should. I see both of them as. I think Florida would be a great fit for Kiffin. He obviously spent time at FAU. He's got some of those Florida pipeline ties. Could make sense. The question
for Lane Kiffin is, does he? I mean, when are they trying to make this hire? I think that I mean, that's going to be a big thing as far as Kiffin goes. Like, do they make the playoffs? You got to stay if you make the playoffs, so you can't even. It's not like, I mean, especially in a 12 team, you can't even like the 4 team. You could like maybe step away then go do some recruiting, but the 12, you gotta be there every week. It's too much game planning going on, so you can't even step away and like say I'll coach and then I'll leave. You can't do that in a 12. So that's gonna be interesting. Do you think he stays or goes?
Kiffin, it's hard. I think there's just too many schools that are going to be fighting for him with too much money at stake. And if I had to guess, I could see that LSU eventually settles on him. Okay. I was almost sure he was going to Florida, but then LSU opened up, and I'm like, LSU could really open up the wallet to and just say, hey, we'll give you all the resources to win a national championship. So I could see that happening where they get him. But LSU is going to shoot for the start. They are going to call Saban. They are going to call Urban Meyer. They might even call Bob Stoops. They're gonna swing for the fences.
Somebody in the comments said Kelvin Shepherd, which is funny because I didn't play against him, but he was like right after me. Like in high school, he played against one of my local rivals. and Stevenson. They're really good at recruiting, but they can't they can't win. I mean, they'll get you out there, but they can't like win the state for nothing. Like they have 5 stars, 4 stars every year. Trash though when it comes to the playoffs. Sad situation. James Franklin, that's actually, you know what? That's a perfect landing spot for him because the pressure isn't there. VTech wants a winner, but I think they'll take 9-3, which is where James Franklin will get you.
Yeah, I could see him in Arkansas too.
Yeah,
SEC ties from his days at Vandy. I could see it. I don't know. Like I think here's the thing. James Franklin's contract is structured in a way where he could take a media job for $1 million. And then Penn State would have to pay the other 40 some million dollars. So if I were James Franklin, I'd be doing that and getting like a media job, cushy media job, couple hours a week so that you're not always at the house, right? You get out of the house, you do something, but then Penn State has to eat pretty much the whole amount.
So like a Nick Saban type deal where what he's doing.
Yeah, basically Franklin only has to show a good faith effort that he's interviewing, and he's allowed to pick a coaching job or a media job. So if you want to make Penn State hurt, which I'm sure he does after what they did this year. Josh Pate called them out for firing him. I mean, personally, I think James Franklin was a bit fraudulent at Penn State. I think he got talent. He was able to secure talent, but they didn't win the games when it mattered. They were able to beat, Northwestern, but they weren't able to beat Ohio State except for that one time. And Michigan, they weren't, the last couple of years they weren't able to beat. And so James Franklin, he did get to the playoffs, but it was very artificial, right? He had to beat Boise State, and who cares as the two teams?
Yeah, you're right. But the one thing, I do agree that James Franklin is fraudulent. But I will say, where is the leadership where's the senior leadership for Penn State? Drew Aller, Singleton, the other guy. Like, you guys came back. This is like the worst. Katron Allen. This is the worst last ride I've ever seen with that amount of star power.
Yeah.
Like, you guys came back and did in the bed. Like, this is it's unacceptable, bro. Like, that's your last ride? Yuck. That's comparable to like freaking Mike Hart and them guys. What happened against App State? Like, bro, there's no way that you guys should have been prepared. Like, there's no way Penn State shouldn't be like undefeated right now. Their schedule, they should have lived up to the preseason billing, I think. But
every year the media named them national championship contenders, and every year the media got egg on their face when they fell short.
This AP preseason top 25 has been horrid. If you look at like what this week was this upcoming weekend is supposed to be, like, nobody saw Vandy being like, who was it? Vandy, Texas being the game of the week. Like, you could have never sold me that. So
that's shocking.
But no, and then Penn State, man. I understand why they fired him. Don't get me wrong, but sheesh, bro. Like, who are they gonna get? Like, who are they even swinging for? Who is Penn State swinging for? Is the question.
So there's been some names floating around, other Big Ten coaches. I know Minnie doesn't like when I say this, but Matt Rule makes all the sense in the world. He's got the Penn State ties. He's a proven program builder. I don't see how they do better than Matt Rule. I really don't.
What a setback that would be for Nebraska, though.
Yeah.
I don't blame Minnie. That's you got to keep that. Like, they can't keep starting over, bro. Like, you already had the prodigal son come home, so if Scott Frost didn't work and Matt Rule leaves, like, who do you hire? Like, is is that one coach still alive? The 97? Oh, is Tom Osborne still kicking?
Is he? I'm not sure.
I'm not
If
sure
he is, he's really old.
I know, I'm just joking.
He actually is still alive. He's 88.
Okay, but that well, you know, Bill Snyder went back to Kansas State. Stranger things happened, so. But no, yeah, you said he's 98.
He is 88 years old.
Oh, never mind. Well, I mean, Bill Snyder was about that old too. You never know.
That's true. That's true.
And saying, you never know. But no,
yeah.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I want Nebraska to be good again, just not good enough for them to beat us. I like when Miami's good. I like when Florida State's good. Like, I like when the Blue Bloods are good. Or the Coastal Blue. I mean, those. Yeah, I think both of those schools are Blue Bloods to me. I don't know.
Here's the thing: this isn't even the end. What people need to realize: this isn't even the end, because Wisconsin's probably going to fire Luke Fickell. Michigan State's probably going to fire what's his face, and you're going to see this expand even more, and. Like, it's just going to get worse and worse as you continue.
Jonathan L. Smith?
Yeah, Jonathan Smith.
The L is for losing to Michigan? No,
yes. Yeah. Name was escaping me, but yeah, L. he does like to lose to Michigan. Yeah,
look, I don't want them. I also don't want them to find another Mel Tucker. Like, I want that's different. I don't care if State's good. It's not like Nebraska where it's like, okay, they were, you hate to see a fading giant. I do not care about Michigan State. I want them to be bad. I just want to put that out there. It was never a rivalry for me growing up, like, seriously. And I want to feel that way again. I don't ever want to I don't want them to land another D'Antonio. Never again.
He might have to be the interim coach for a year. Or a couple of games at least. I think they'll trot him back out for like interim, but they're not going to hire him back full time.
It's not over. It'll never be over.
Maybe he'll coach. I don't think they're going to make a bowl. I was going to say maybe he'll coach the bowl game, but they're not even going to make a bowl game. So most likely. But yeah, no, I think.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Some people are saying Brian Hartline to LSU. I just don't. Here's the thing. I think they want a proven winner head coach that's already been a head coach.
I heard Hartline to Penn State, which makes more sense to me.
That makes more sense.
I mean, I'm sure he wants to get his shot like at the head man sooner than later. And to be perfectly honest, Ohio State fans, I think your track record recruits those guys. I don't think that he's doing much to get them. I think the proof is in the pudding. So I don't think like the wide receiver drop off wouldn't be at all. But that's not your problem, is it? Wide receivers never been your problem. But
no,
I digress.
Yeah, Hartline. I could see. Here's the thing. I wonder if they're trying to get him ready to be a head coach at Ohio State one day. Like,
no, which would make. I mean, it would make all the sense in the world, for sure.
Then third base Ryan Day can go off to the NFL and coach at, I don't know, the Cowboys or whatever program needs him that year, or the Bears or whatever. And then Brian Hartline has had a few years as play caller, and maybe he becomes like second in command, and he's kind of weaned into it, similar to how third base Ryan Day was weaned into it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm wondering, like, who's gonna take that Penn State job? That's another one that concerns me. I don't care about I want Florida and LSU to be good just for college football. I want Penn State. I want that 9-3 like ceiling. I need that to be the ceiling and us to be one of those three. So, like I said, I want to be good, but not too good. To be perfectly honest, like we don't need to get that back. Them back up and running. I don't like that. I hate Penn State. I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, West Squad. Well, any final thoughts for us?
Final thoughts. I think we beat down Purdue this weekend. I'll just say that just for you. I think 41-7 or thereabouts.
Okay.
So
you're close to mine. I was 38-7, so you're very close.
A field goal up on you. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being on, man.
Go Blue.
Yeah. All right. And I do need to watch it because I'm filling in for Mark Rogers today, so I have to watch the third base Ryan Day comments. But but thanks for everybody hanging in. I am not Mark Rogers. My name's John Diadamo. I host Michigan Wolverines Live and Michigan Postgame Live on the Michigan channel at Voice of College Football, and filling in for Mark Rogers tonight. Michigander with the super chat, bringing us to 1:42 to go to get a second hour. Rumor is Jim Knowles or Todd Monken to Oklahoma State. Yeah, they need to take who out. Like that, those both sound about right. Those both, like, that sounds about the speed for Oklahoma State. They're not going to pull any major heavy hitters, so I'd say those two seem pretty reasonable. There's also an interesting rumor that what's his face, former Raiders coach, John Gruden, that John Gruden may be considering going back to college. So that could be where do we think John Gruden would wind up if he had a coaching opportunity in college? One more with Michigander, Tony Alford to Colorado State. So look, I mean, it's possible, but I don't. First of all, Colorado State is not at a good place as a program. And remember that Savion Hyder is about to come in next year. I think Alford is going to want to stick around for Savion Hyder and to run that backfield of Savion Hyder and Jordan Marshall. And they may have to give him a raise. They may have to give him another associate coach title or something like that. But I think they're going to try to keep him. He can get a better head coaching job if he helps take Michigan to the national championship. He could get a better job than Colorado State in a year, or 2 years, if he helps Michigan make a playoff or a national championship. I have heard that, though, Michigander. It is a thing. I understand. Yep. I understand. I get it. I just think he could find a better program in a year or two if he sticks at Michigan, but we'll see. All right, next we've got a host of Alabama Crimson Tide Live at the Voice of College Football. We got Jackson Johnson in the house. Hey, Jackson, how you doing?
I'm doing all right today. John, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
Well, I'm pulling double duty. You know, we went 2 hours on the Michigan show, and Mark Rogers asked me to fill in tonight for College Football Late Night Live, and I said, well, once I'm done the other show, happy to jump on here. So here we are.
There you go, man. Rocking and rolling. I like that, man. Yeah, apparently I'm a little bit tired because I stayed up watching that 18-inning game 3. It's like, probably.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like, probably a dumb move, especially when
you watched that whole thing.
No, I watched the last bit of it. I watched like the last few innings. I was like, oh wow, that's still going on. I better check this out. So I'm just like posting SpongeBob memes, like related to the game, and I'm just kind of going, yeah, this game's going to go on so long that the old broadcaster's going to quit, and then they'll have to hire a new one.
Yeah, that I'll tell you what, the it's hard enough for me to watch. Like I had partial season tickets to the Nats stadium.
Oh, nice.
A couple years ago, and it was hard for me to watch all those innings. I can't imagine 18. It's hard enough to watch 9, let alone 18.
Personally, if I gotta stay at 1 a.m. in the morning at a ball game, that's fine by me. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll deal with that.
Maybe bring the cigar. That was very. Yeah, for those who didn't watch, Jackson had a celebratory cigar on Alabama. What was it? Post game call show?
It was the Alabama Tennessee post game show.
Yeah. That was fun, Jackson.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that's part of a tradition for the winner of Alabama Tennessee. Like the Tennessee guy, Jordan Binkley, and I both agreed that the winner would give a heads up to the boss like before we do it, and then afterwards we can go ahead and do it on the post game show, because it's kind of similar to what the teams do. They give a heads up to the NCAA and say, "Hey, we're going to be smoking cigars in the locker room." Yeah, so it's like, yeah, but you were talking a little bit about John Gruden if he was coaching in college. I feel like Arkansas would be that place, honestly. Because, Arkansas is trying to go back to where they were in the 60s, but that's never going to happen. That ship has sailed, in my opinion. But they want people paying attention to them. John Gruden's a great way to get people watching you. And you don't want guys like Bobby Petrino being your head coach. Because,
yeah, I'm with you there. Here's the thing. We need to remember John Gruden's offense is extremely complicated.
Yeah.
And he is going to need to simplify it. The question is, can he simplify it? Because if you've watched any of the John Gruden videos or anything else where he's like spitting out all the play terminology and stuff, trying to get that all in at the huddle is a nightmare.
Oh, God.
And so he's going to have to figure out, and maybe he brings in somebody who's very experienced in college to help out, because you don't want it to be another Bill Belichick situation where you come in, successful NFL coach, but no idea how to coach college. And your offensive coordinator's Freddie Kitchens, who has no idea how to coach, or barely any idea how to coach college. And then Steve Belichick, who was at Washington and failed at Washington as DC. So it was just a weird. So John Gruden, if he's smart and he gets hired at Arkansas or somewhere, bring in experienced college assistants who know the game, who know recruiting, who know the differences and how to boil things down for players.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's crucial.
No doubt about it. And we're looking at LSU. Oh man, 21 million. Man, I think I took the wrong gig. I need to go be a head coach trying to get fired, get 20 million.
Yeah. Joel Klatt said the same thing. I'll get fired. I'll go coach one of these teams and get fired.
Oh man, but yeah, in all seriousness, I know our good buddy Jeffrey doesn't like to hear it, but Lane Kiffin to LSU sounds pretty likely, like especially when you hear the news about Lane Kiffin's daughter dating one of the LSU players, Whit Weeks. So
right, I have heard about that.
Yeah, because I think he probably lost that game so that he wouldn't be having a night on the couch, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, LSU, they got all kinds of money, and Woodward has some explaining to do, especially when he's having to sign a bunch of contracts to where you got to shell out millions and millions, like 75 million to pay Jimbo, right? And then you got to pay 53 million And then it's like, no, we're not paying $53 million. So we're gonna. You have to have the governor of Louisiana bail you out.
Yeah, yeah.
The governor of Louisiana bail you out and go, no. We're gonna negotiate down to 40% of it, $21.6 million, and at this point, the lesson is, if you got a big buyout coming, that does not automatically mean you're safe. I mean, the Jimbo Fisher situation taught me that personally.
Jimbo Fisher has like a radio show or something to fulfill his obligation, because he has an obligation too, just like James Franklin.
He's on NBC Network.
Yeah, so that's how he's fulfilling the you have to work somewhere obligation. But like that job, just like what I think James Franklin's going to do, a very similar thing. Go to Big Ten Network, get paid $500K, $1 million a year, make Penn State pay the other $48 million.
Or he could work at Voice of College Football Locked On.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's an idea. We will happily help Penn State out with we'll make them pay like practically all of it. Ryan Willie with the 5. I don't want Fickell remaining at Wisconsin, but a mega donor is backing Fickell. So I've heard that he's at least going to be staying the rest of the season, and that if he goes, the athletic director may also be out at the same time. That's what I've kind of been hearing. But I just don't see how they keep him if he continues to lose at the level that he's losing. Like, he's just getting absolutely whooped.
Unless they win out the rest of the season, he's pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pitiful watching this Wisconsin team. I mean,
yeah, and it's a shame because, like, sometimes coaching doesn't transfer levels. Like, he had a solid program at Cincinnati. He did something which people thought was impossible at the time. He got a group of 5 team to the old college football playoff with 4 teams.
Oh.
Now they got whooped by Alabama, as they should, but they at least made it to the 4-team playoff. And then he goes to Wisconsin, and I think a lot of us thought he was going to have a 9-10 win program every year. And it just seemed like anytime they try to do air raid or spread, like heavy spread in the Big Ten, with the exception of Ohio State, it hasn't worked. Like, remember, Michigan tried it with Rich Rod. It's hard for me to even bring that name up. We also tried it with Josh Gaddis, sort of, where we changed the offensive identity. What happened? Things stagnated, because when you get to November and it gets to be 20 degrees and it becomes about physicality, it becomes about hard-nosed football, old school football, it's better to have a pro spread, like a Lions style offense where it's physical. You can still move the ball down the field, and that's what Michigan's trying to do now. And I think Ohio State has been trying to add more physicality to their trench play. USC has done a great job of upgrading their trench play. A great job from where they were a few years ago at the weak sauce pack. Like, they've upgraded major on both lines of scrimmage. So,
if USC doesn't make the playoffs this year, I think 2026 is going to be much similar to what 2025 was for LSU in the preseason, because it's going to be, here's the deal. You got rid of the Notre Dame rivalry, 100-year tradition, and you say, well, that was preventing you from making the playoffs. Now, you got a chance to put your money where your mouth is. And some of those USC fans are cool with it right now. They're not going to be so cool with it if USC is having 3-2 losses entering next November. 2025, I think they're obviously letting slide, but next year, if USC, yeah, because I suspect Lincoln Riley's getting a vote of confidence season this year. I suspect he's a hot seat coach next year. He's in a much similar position to where Brian Kelly was this year.
Yeah, I do see improvement with Lincoln Riley, and maybe that's because we just caught the business end of a whooping against USC. Michigan got lost that game, and what was interesting is trench play was on their side.
Yeah,
a couple years ago that would have been reversed, and it's very interesting to see. I do see improvement in USC. Yeah. You never know. I mean, it's the Big Ten. They have to travel all across the country. But I see improvement. Will that continue next year? Who knows? But Lincoln Riley he has this tendency to get Heisman quarterbacks, create Heisman quarterbacks, good offenses, and their defense isn't completely terrible anymore.
Oh, yeah. And last thoughts I'll say before you get to next caller, Penn State, I could see. Oh, man, it's going to take me a minute to realize who they're going to get. I don't think they should be getting Manny Diaz, because if they thought they had problems with Franklin, you're not going to win anything with Manny Diaz. Because, at Duke, yeah, they beat Florida State last season, but that's not really anything to brag about. They
Didn't Florida State win 2 games last year?
Oh, yeah, and they were scooting their butts across the floor over a win over Cal. So, but
2-10. Yeah, great job.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mike Norvell's another situation to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
They keep losing. He's gone. They go 6-6, 7-5, or win out the rest of the season. It's a vote of confidence. And Michigander. There you go.
Thanks, Michigander, for the 10, bringing us to just one. If you want a second hour, otherwise we're going to wrap up in about 10 minutes. 125 to go. Michigander bringing us to that. Has anyone seen that Sharon Moore and Marcus Freeman are trying to bring back the Michigan-Notre Dame rivalry before 2033? I have seen that. I've seen them both express interest in it. The reality is, though, these schedules are baked in years in advance. If anything, it would probably be like 2029, 2030. And they'd probably have to swap out somebody because it would be a non-conference, because Notre Dame still hasn't joined a conference. How about that? Hey, if you join a conference, you get to play Michigan a lot more often, and other good teams too. But they don't want to do that. And NBC enables it. NBC enables it by paying them ungodly amounts of money for them to play Navy.
What I don't get NBC isn't doing is, why aren't they airing Notre Dame USC on an annual basis? Don't let CBS take Notre Dame USC in the years that USC has them. That's your chance to air it you're never going to get Michigan, Ohio State. Fox is always going to have dibs on that. So what's next best thing? Notre Dame USC. That's been going on since 1926 when everybody was walking fast.
Yeah, I'd love to see it back.
If NBC doesn't try to make Notre Dame USC back on rivalry week, I want it to be on rivalry week. Like, even number years in LA, odd number years, it can still be in South Bend mid-October, but instead of it being Notre Dame Stanford, I want it to be Notre Dame Miami. But again, neither here nor there. Norvell's a guy to watch out for, see whether he gets fired. I could see Alex Golesh being that guy that Penn State tries to get. I could see them trying to get him. Or maybe they go the coordinator route. Who knows? Like they think. I mean, they could try out what Georgia did with Kirby Smart. Oh well, we're getting rid of him no matter what. Oh crap, Kirby's going to South Carolina. No, we're getting him to come over to Georgia. I could see Penn State doing something similar to that.
Get like a really strong coordinator, or like, and also like maybe somebody calls up Joe Brady. I'm just saying, Joe Brady's it might be he doesn't want to be a coordinator in college, but has anyone tried to make him a head coach?
I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, if I'm Penn State, I'm getting the guy that was part of that Joe Burrow national title run, the guy that's basically the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen. Get him while the iron is hot. That's what I say.
We got Fred saying, "Hey, Jackson Johnson, this won't get your goal, but roll Tide and go Big Red. Jackson Johnson is a legend." This is one of your biggest fans, it sounds like, Jackson.
Oh, yeah, Fred Seiko. I see him with Minnie Hunt on Corn Nation. I saw him last night.
Oh, nice.
They do a great job on there. Like, Manny
we love
Hunt.
Corn Nation. We love Corn Nation here at the Voice of College Football. I've had John on my shows a bunch of times.
Oh man, John Johnston. Yeah, he's cool. Like, oof. Note to self, I have to plan like a little Nebraska party for a future show at some point. Like if Alabama plays Nebraska, and I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen in the playoffs, but if it ever does happen, I could probably plan something like that. Like, I mean, I'll plan a little Bama Nebraska party.
That sounds fun. Bama, Nebraska. That sounds like a good matchup that we don't get to see very often.
Oh, we haven't seen it since 1978, unfortunately.
I knew you'd know it. So one more, and then we'll let you go. We got a couple callers behind you, but Michigander asks, "What about Deion Sanders back to Florida
His
State?"
health is really
the
bad.
Health issues are I think he might take it easy after this year.
I mean, he had his toes amputated a few years back. He's having blood clots constantly. His bladder got removed because he had bladder cancer. Man, I'm 5 years ago, yes, but no, not today.
I actually brought this one up before. Jason Eck. Going back to Wisconsin. I've pointed that out a couple of times. That would be a really great move, I think, for Wisconsin. Jason Eck is a really creative play caller. He's obviously got the alma mater link, and there's that. People asking for the call link. Just FYI, we only have about 5 more minutes unless.
Oh crap! I just put
in it's all good. But we're gonna speed through the last 2 callers. Unless we get 116 more, then we'll go another hour. HOF Trey. Well, then super chat. Throw a 50 out there, or whatever. Help us get there. All right. So let's go ahead and Jackson. Any final thoughts?
It's about it. I'm just, this is not going to be the last move of the coaching carousel, but I will say we got ourselves a wild ride all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. John, you had some magic on Michigan week this week, good buddy. And, oh, man, you had somebody from Purdue. It's taking me a little bit. Who'd you have on?
Yeah, so we had a it's Tanner Lee. So we had Tanner Lee from Boiler Break Pod.
There you go.
So it was a great chat.
There you go. Tell your friends, your family, and cashiers at pubs about the magic that episode brings. All right there on Michigan at the Voice College Football. And also on Michigan at the Voice College Football is Michigan Mondays with TJ Ronan and Manny Hunt. It's like watching Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers making that magic in those 1930s, 40s dance movies. But Of course, I've also been making some magic tricks myself on Alabama with the Voice of College Football with Jeffrey to Only Talk Sports yesterday, talking about some recruiting updates, how we need to work on the run game, and much, much more. And of course, today I had on Luke Robinson and Jimmy Stein from Locked On Bama talking a little bit about the mid-season, what we need to work on, offense, defense, how we're doing, much, much more. But Wednesday mornings is beautiful morning as you start off with Mark Rogers, Steve Hellwagon, Tony Gerbman, and Kevin Noon on Buckeyes Live, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. Now let's get the Voice of College Football Network main channel to 100,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get this show a second hour by getting it 112 to $108 worth of super chats, super stickers, membership, and membership gifts, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. I'll put in a little more for sure.
All right. Well, appreciate you, Jackson. 110 to go, it looks like. Thanks, Jackson. Check Jackson out, Alabama channel, Voice College Football. See you next time, man.
I'll see you next time, good buddy.
All right. Folks, just FYI, I see some more people calling in. We're 3 minutes till the end of the show, unless we get another 110. So Dr. C has been waiting a while, though, so we'll bring him on real quick. Hey, Dr. C.
Hey, how's it going?
Is good. Just filling in for Mark here tonight.
Nice. Doing a great job. Hey, what I wanted to comment is Kiffin's leaving, I think, right? Because don't you think Ole Miss would have given him an extension by now? I mean, how much harder does this, you've got Florida that's basically saying we're going to bring the Brinks truck. You got LSU. What more does it take, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at Indiana, what they did to lock in Cignetti and the monster contract that they gave Kurt Cignetti. So you'd think that if Ole Miss wanted to try to keep him, that they'd do a similar level contract.
Well, I think, you know what, they're going to have to do something like because he's at Ole Miss already, I'm going to guess a 5-year, $15 million contract to keep him. And I think Florida's going to offer probably about a 10-year, $15 million, the richest contract ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's probably, I thought it would be Florida, but now with LSU opened up, I could see it being either of them.
I have him going to LSU, honestly, but, their AD's kind of in trouble, right? Because he gave Jimbo that big contract at A&M, and he gave
he's the guy that gave Jimbo the contract, and then they have to pay him $74 million in buyout.
Well, he's the same guy that gave Brian Kelly the contract as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he can afford to make another I think it's going to take that. It's going to be a 10-year, $15 million, $150 million contract.
Yeah, I don't think.
Can these schools keep on doing this though? Eventually, it's going to get to a point where they can't afford it, right?
Well, with the donors stepping up to the level that they're stepping up, I mean, look at what's happening. Michigan's $30 million fine for Stallions. One donor stepped up and paid that. The Texas A&M buyout, I believe, was 2 or 3 donors that stepped up to. So it's donors that are paying a lot of these things because the donors don't want mediocre coaches. Yeah. So they don't want somebody like Brian Kelly, who's winning 8-9 games a year, also not a very nice person and just off the field issues. And they don't want that. I wouldn't be completely surprised if you hear Saban or Urban Meyer or a Bob Stoops type, or I think they want to swing for a proven national championship winner who's an experienced head coach I just don't see them, or they go for Joe Brady in the NFL level. They go up a level to the NFL, and then maybe you look at a coordinator there. But I just don't see it being, Lane Kiffin would probably be the bottom of the rung of like the coaches that they would try to get. But
you think so for LSU?
Yeah, like I think they're going to try to swing for the best, like the absolute. I think they're going to call Saban. I think they're going to call Urban. I think they're going to call Dan Lanning. I think they're going to call Kirby. They're going to call all of them and try to make them the highest paid coach in college football.
Yeah, I've heard Oregon's coach Lanning. I always butcher his name. I've heard that for LSU. Who else is Franklin? I can see going to Florida.
Wow.
Do you see that?
I was thinking Florida State.
Or Florida State, yeah.
I was thinking Florida State, assuming that job opens up. People have said Virginia Tech might be an option. That I think would also be good.
I heard Virginia Tech's going to go for Beamer. I heard that's the fans like the idea.
Yeah,
I could see it. Even though they were the dark horse at the start of the season, kind of. They were making a lot of noise. Not doing that. They're doing okay, but obviously they're disappointing for the expectation that they built in the offseason, right? But yeah, and then what do you think? Do you think Florida calls Urban Meyer?
Yeah, but I don't think Urban would take Florida. I think Urban would consider LSU, but it's kind of been there, done that with Florida.
What about Urban at Penn State?
No,
you don't see that.
I think LSU is the only slight possibility, and they would have to pay like $20 million a year to try to get him. But I don't see Urban going to any of these other jobs.
Who do you think is a name that would be shocking, but you could see one of these programs getting? Like Dillingham or something like that?
John Gruden?
Gruden? Yeah, I've been hearing Gruden to Arkansas for the last 15 years. I
know. And his offense would need to get simplified a lot in order, because even NFL players were having trouble grasping his offense. So he would need to simplify how he coaches and avoid another Belichick situation. But yeah, Dillingham. And we're probably gonna see some of these lower level jobs will probably go to coordinators. I could see Neuheisel getting UCLA. I mean, why not?
That seems to be. How about the guy from USF? I can't pronounce his name.
USF.
Yeah, Southern Florida. What are they like?
Alex Golesh?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
I could see him like at Wisconsin potentially.
He's 20. He's 24. He's 20 wins, 14 losses at USF, so not the best. But they are 6-2 this year.
Yeah.
So.
The other coaches that kind of been getting some buzz, and I'm not saying they'll land a major, but they'll land a good program, is Summerall over at Tulane and the Memphis coach.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, for any of these, like, kind of lower level, like, the non-LSUs, the non-Floridas, Penn States, like, those types of names getting hired. I could absolutely see it.
Yeah. And lastly, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Because I know you got another. But what jobs do you think are going to open up? I see Wisconsin. I see Florida State.
Wisconsin, Florida State, Michigan State.
You think they'll give up on Smith that quickly?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's falling apart. It's falling apart. I think they're. I mean, they like Michigan just whooped them, and they only kept it close with that feel good touchdown at the end. So I don't think they're going to stick. From what I understand, I don't think they're going to stick with him unless he has a great end of the season.
Oh,
and
for
State,
Wisconsin,
I could see. Yeah,
Jim Leonard.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah,
and
that was a surprise that they didn't get him.
He was very like he left because he was thinking he'd be potentially head coach.
Yeah.
And they went another. That was a boneheaded decision. Number one, I don't think they should have fired Chris to begin with. Like he was winning 9-10 games a year at Wisconsin. Like that's good. That like we need to remember that's good. Like Paul Chryst would have gotten into the 12-team playoff on multiple occasions. So I think just firing him was short-sighted. But if you're gonna fire him, you got to put someone like Leonard in that spot.
I mean, does Wisconsin become the next Nebraska? Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly where what's happening to them. They fired a consistent coach that was winning 9-10 games a year to get Fickle, who's winning like 5, 6, 7 games a year.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Fickle didn't work out. I mean, he seems like
I thought he would.
Yeah. Well, USC really wanted Jim Leonard as their defensive coordinator. Yeah. They didn't get him because they felt that he would only be there 1 year and then go for a head coaching job, right? And they wanted stability, so they went with is it Alton, I think? But yeah, Jim Leonard. I mean, I think he's the guy. If they get anyone but that guy, I think it's going to be a big mistake.
Yep. Well, I think Jason Eck would be a good choice for Wisconsin.
Him as well.
Yeah, Jason Eck, alumni at Wisconsin, great offensive play caller. I think he could fit in very well. So I'm thinking Leonard or Eck, one of those two would be good.
But aside from Leonard, do you think these teams that have been suffering, they need coaches with head coaching experience, right? And not go for the hot shot coordinator? I think that's for the elite teams.
Yeah, I think. Well, I would say even the LSU is going to try to get a national championship head coach. I think. So I think everybody is going to try to get, like, the hotshot coordinator hasn't worked out. So it would have to be like a super impressive type of coordinator at some of these places. I think especially at LSU, Penn State, Florida, they're going to want big time head coaches that are already head coaches, but we'll see. Dr. C, final thought for us?
No, you know what? No, not really. This is just college football is nuttier than. Oh, final thought. Because of NIL and because of the transfer portal, do you think that teams of the past will be considered better because they had more depth? I'm thinking, will we not see another, like, what was it, Georgia? Remember with that defense when they won what was it, 2020?
Yeah, when Alabama, when you're saying when Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State were stacking their roster with 5 stars because, well, I won't say it on the main channel, but let's just say they did some things to enable that.
Right, they had a different kind of NIL before NIL was legal.
Yeah, we'll just stick to that. Yeah,
those teams had, the teams of the past not only had more scholarships. So then, whenever your starters, your 5 stars were tired, a 4-star would come in, right? And now it feels like these versions of Alabama and Georgia, they're feeling the hit where their 5 stars get tired, and now you got a 3-star, highly ranked 3-star, coming in, but it's not the same. Like those powerhouses or those dynasties. That's why I'm like, wait a second, are the teams like the 2005 USC, 2006 Texas, are those teams now going to be better than when it comes to depth? Well, then now the teams from here on out.
I think so. I think that the teams that stack their stack their team with 5 stars are going to be considered better, like deeper teams in some cases than now that we have all this parity with NIL. So I think that's definitely a valid point. Dr. C, you've got another caller and we're over time.
Yeah, I gotta go. Hey, thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
Take care. Bye.
All right. And real quick, final caller, because we're 11 minutes over. HOF Trey. Hey, HOF Trey, you got a quick thought for us?
Yeah, we're talking about coaches, and I'm hearing this. I didn't plan to come on until like probably Thursday or Friday. Talk about the next, this week. But I can see Shane Beamer into Virginia Tech. The family history over there with the Beamers. I can see that happening. While South Carolina is like a sunken ship over here. They are going down. And I would think he would leave because it's going down. And LSU firing Brian Kelly was kind of unexpected. I didn't know that. He actually got locked out of the facility.
Yes, he did.
He got locked out of the facility
on
before
Sunday
he was
morning.
fired. I don't know
why
his
fingerprint didn't work.
I don't know why people keep doing that. That's even though they're fired, you should have told them first before you lock them out. That's not very good business practice. So shame on them. But
I will say, I think those who have been following it were not that shocked that Brian Kelly was gone. And the reason is because LSU expects to compete for national championships. They weren't making the playoff. They just weren't getting to that like winning SEC championships, winning playoff games. That's where they want to get to. So I think they're going to look for a national championship head coach, somebody who's won a title somewhere.
Yeah, but that's hard to find. That's far in between. If you look at the last couple of coaches for LSU, Ed Orgeron did not work out. He was not that good. Right. I don't care what anybody said. He got lucky on the once-in-a-lifetime team, and once they were gone, he was nothing. Now, he's a good rally the troops kind of guy, and I can see him going to Oklahoma State. I can see that. It fits him. Like, go Cowboys. I can see that. I can see him going to Oklahoma State, rally the troops. They're down bad. Or Arkansas. I can see him doing that. But LSU, this is very tricky. I don't think they're getting Lane Kiffin. I'm sorry. Florida has a better chance of getting Lane Kiffin than LSU does. LSU, we're not sure what's going to market. You got to have somebody that fits the SEC mold. It makes sense. You can't just stick Marcus Freeman and James Franklin there. They don't get it. Well, James Franklin worked at Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's like, who cares until now. I don't know who LSU is going to have unless they have Alex Golish from USF. But right now, anytime you get anybody from the group of 5 right now, they're not working out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think LSU is going to pick up the phone and try to call Nick Saban.
Oh, that's the best. If you want to talk about the best team for Nick Saban to go back to, and only team besides Alabama, it would be LSU. He got finished restarted. Maybe they never say no. When they truly retired, are they really truly retired? Because Urban Meyer didn't. He said he was retired. He said it 2 or 3 times. They came back. Well, Nick Saban.
I could see Urban going to one place, and that's LSU. I think he'd turn every other. I think he'd turn every other job. I'm saying he'd turn every other job down. LSU is the only one he'd even entertain, and it would have to be like $20 million a year.
Man, you want to talk about Florida hating them too?
Yeah,
Gators hate him. Yeah, I love Urban. Urban. He does great, but he did some uncharacteristic things. He did with the Jaguars and also in the documentary. But man, he had a disciplined football team. He took a bunch of thieves and a preacher to a bunch of titles and Sugar Bowl. He was the guy. Will it still happen in today's football? And even though it's 10 years or 15 years, it changed a lot. It changed a lot in a very short amount of time. But Urban at LSU is very interesting. And LSU is very, they had this toxic boosters since LSU fired Les Niles. Auburn, LSU. Sometimes the Gators can have some toxic boosters and they will fire you within 2 or 3 years. I'm surprised we didn't do that with Billy Napier, John. Until, recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, LSU, I don't know. It's hard for them. It don't seem like nobody right now. You got to come back from the past can fit them. For my Gators, I'm going with John Gruden. I got to have John Gruden.
Ooh,
I got to have
Gruden.
Think about
what about Lane Kiffin? No Lane Kiffin?
Well, I wanted Lane Kiffin at first, but the more they get closer to the college football playoff and the SEC championship, the more I don't think he's going to go away. I don't think so. And I want John Gruden. You think what John Gruden, I talked to Mark about this. I will say again. Look, he has a Super Bowl ring. He is far different than egomaniac Bill Belichick. You can't compare these two guys. John Gruden's all about football.
Well, Bill Belichick had 6 Super Bowl rings, just to be fair.
No, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady. He didn't do anything. Tom Brady did it, not him. He got a bunch of bums surrounded for him, and damn Tom, made them to superstars. It wasn't Bill. Bill had just had the scheme, that's all. Just like Dan Mullen. He reminds me of Dan Mullen a lot. He's just an older version of younger version of Bill Belichick. But John Gruden, he loves football. I watch his videos all the time. He knows what he's doing. Inside out, he knows the plays. And if he got to lower the play calling and to lower it down, dumb it down a little bit, he will do it because he figures something out. He loves it, and he can rally the troops. He expects perfection football. He expects it. And he holds people accountable. And that would Florida been missing for the last 3 coaching staffs. We didn't have that since Jim McElwain. And Jim McElwain wasn't that strict either. But he was better than the previous 2.
Yeah.
And I like Jim McElwain. He fit the Gator mold a little bit. And I really liked him until he said something about fake death threats. And that was basically the downfall of Jim McElwain.
As a Michigan fan, I love Jim McElwain. So.
Really? You like didn't Jim was a defensive guy or offensive guy?
Yeah, well, because Michigan beat Florida every time they played. That's why I like it.
I know. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. Isn't that weird? We faced Michigan a couple of times versus McElwain, and all of a sudden he turns around and goes there and he couldn't beat. That's kind of interesting. I want to ask you, since you're a Michigan fan, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you can beat Ohio State again?
Can we?
Yeah, let's you know what? Make it 5 straight.
Can Michigan beat Ohio State? Yes. Have I seen the evidence? Have I seen the evidence as of right now that they have the capability in the passing game to hang with Ohio State? I don't know.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I would love nothing more than the suck guys. They are the suck guys to lose a 5th straight time to Michigan.
I would love it. I think the most realistic prediction is 9-3.
Okay.
And so Michigan wins the schedule until they get to Ohio State, drop that one, make a pretty decent bowl game, and then hopefully next year go for the playoff, because I just think the program as a whole, the coaching has been inconsistent.
Let me ask you 2 more things before these last 2 things I come up with. Do you remember that Ohio State streak they had against y'all? It was like 12 years. I want y'all to do the same thing to Ohio State.
Okay, well,
because that'd be the funniest stuff. Because I saw that streak build up when I was younger. It was like 2004 through 2013, 2012, and I seen it. I'm like, this is not good. I miss Michigan being better. I want y'all to do the same thing to Ohio State. I would love nothing more. I can't stand those maniacs, those. And those Animax or those little 3 black and white characters on WB.
Animaniacs.
Yeah, they remind me of those. Buckeyes remind me of those guys. They're crazy. Right. But I will say, do you think Florida have a chance over Georgia?
Do I think Florida has a chance to beat Georgia?
Yes.
Sure.
Especially when Bailey Napier is gone, we can have any chance.
Sure. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll tell you why, though. But why don't you think it will happen or could?
Kirby Smart has this ability to clutch out the games he needs to win.
Yeah,
and it's with the exception of Alabama, which is his Achilles heel for some reason. Like, he's just clutching them out. He beat Ole Miss, right? Even though Ole Miss had a higher ranking, he just clutches these games out and beats teams like Texas. Even though Texas was extremely strong last year, Georgia was beating them. He just clutches out games that he needs to, and he's done it for years now. And so I just feel like this is one of those that Florida will keep it interesting, but Georgia takes it.
Now, I know they struggle with good defenses. They struggle a little bit versus Tennessee. Now we got the best, probably the best defense in the SEC.
Okay,
we're very consistent on defense. I wish our offense would have picked up the pace earlier. I'm glad. No, let me say this. Yeah. Even though I wish our offense was better early in the year, hell, if that was true, we would have kept Billy another year, and I didn't want that either. No, I'm glad he got fired. Here's a bum. But anyway, damn, okay. I think Florida can win, and it's only because of our team. I think we're going to cause some issues. We're going to cause some turnovers.
Yeah,
you
probably will.
Do you remember that 2015 game of Florida Georgia? How they only ran the ball? All Trayon Harris did was like 3 passes. They got to do the same. They got to do the same thing like that did. That's the only. You can't put it in Lagway hands, for God's sake. We got a good running back. We need to give it to him 30 times. I mean, 30 times and maybe past 10 and give it to Dallas Wilson. Give it to Dallas and Eugene Wilson's a failure. I'm sorry. I don't know what's all this hype for Eugene Wilson. He's a complete failure, John. He's been absent every time. The moment we hyped him up, he has been absent. I like this Dallas guy. He's the guy.
Yeah. All right, Trey, you got a final thought for us? We're about 25 minutes over. So final thought?
Yeah, final thought here. Florida will beat Georgia, and all of a sudden, Florida still be in the hunt for the SEC title, even though it seemed very bleak. We still got to pass, and we somehow be the first 8-4 team to make the playoffs. But we will make a bowl game, and we will beat FSU.
You heard it here. You heard it here. The prediction from Trey: Florida beating Georgia. Florida keeping its SEC championship hopes alive. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Trey. I appreciate you.
The score will be 23-17.
There we go. There we go. All right. 23-17. All right. Thanks, Trey.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. And that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with me. We got Lance here. What up, Lance? We do have a couple of super chats. I know, Michigander. I know. So we've got, let's see, Jason Eck. Yes, I agree. Back to his, I think that's a great idea. Matt Campbell to Penn State. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I just, Matt Rule just makes sense. It makes sense to me. It's the obvious choice. If it's anyone else, I'd be shocked. I think it's going to be Matt Rule. Leopold to Wisconsin from Ryan Willie. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Maybe. I think it's going to be Eck, personally, or Leonard. Jackson, $50 down and 100 to go. Thank you for Jackson is our chief marketing officer, as everybody knows, here at the Voice of College Football, and helps hype up our shows. We appreciate him every day. And Michigander, who is going to take over for Kirk Ferentz? I don't know. Phil Parker would be the obvious choice, at least from a temporary basis, but from everything I've heard from Erica Goldberg and other Iowa fans, he'd probably just leave with Kirk and just retire when Kirk does. All right. I think that's it. And absolutely thank you for coming on, West Quad, Best Quad. Hit the like and subscribe. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ralph, for saying that. My name is John Diadamo. I was your host tonight. You can follow me on Twix at John Diadamo. And I host 2 shows here at the Voice of College Football on the Michigan channel. So you can find me Tuesday nights on Michigan Wolverines Live, which is our main show of the week, where we go over the topics, we go over what's happening, and then we take your calls on Michigan Postgame Live. Sometimes they go for 3 hours. Sometimes they go for 5 hours. Sometimes they go for 10 hours. So catch us after the Purdue game, where we'll take your calls, give our takes, take super chats, all that good stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we're going to wrap up with a message from Mark Rogers on Voice of College Football Bets. See you next time.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.